So if we go to Catherine first, as a family advisor specialist, how do you go about that whole conversation of giving with your clients?
Thanks, Lisa. So as I alluded to earlier, actually having that conversation and having it early on is really important, because there may be some actual or perceived barriers with your clients to enable them to give the legacies that they want to. So starting them early to help them unblock those is really critical. And I think Chris touched on a couple of ways in which you can raise that with the families. I think the key is, well, certainly what I've observed, advisors can sometimes be a little reluctant to talk to their clients about donating to charity. I think people can sometimes be worried that they might cause offence if they ask, if they're somehow being judgmental by raising it. And also sometimes there can be a concern with advisors if they're opening the door of a conversation around sort of charity and philanthropy, and that's not their area of expertise. Are they kind of walking into a black hole where they may have questions they can't answer? Because as professional advisors, we all like to be in a position where we can answer our clients' questions. However, I think, one of the main points I'd like to get across today is that, I've never had any negative pushback from a client when I've asked them about whether they're involved with charity, whether they are active in philanthropy, whether they would like to be. It doesn't mean they always say yes, they would like to be. I mean, only this week I was told by a client that the money that they were leaving was for their family and they didn't have any philanthropic plans. And that's okay. That's obviously someone's personal choice. And we moved the discussion on to talking about something else. But far, far more often, when you raise this with a client, you end up having this wonderful conversation with them about either an experience in their earlier lifetime or something that motivates them. And you really get to see a different side of your family, of your clients, whether it's them talking about their disabled son, or treatment that they received, and it just gives you that sort of much broader dimension and perspective. I'll give you, my own personal example. Everyone else was talking about why they were connected with the community foundation, and I'll be honest, I don't have a 20-year history with the community foundation. My relationship with you is only sort of a couple of years, but actually it stems from my grandfather, and there's a photo of him up there who was a miner in Camas. And seeing how the community in Camas reacted as the mines were closed and hearing about that through my family history has given me a real connection to the area and a real desire to want to help. And it's those sorts of conversations, if you're having those with your clients, you learn a lot more about the history, and that actually helps you advise them looking forwards. I think another reason why I would encourage people to have these conversations with their clients is that actually clients want to talk about this. In a survey that was conducted, I want to get my own statistics in, everyone else has got statistics and numbers, but a survey conducted by Philanthropy Impact, they spoke to about 500 high net worth individuals, and they rated the philanthropy services they currently receive from their advisors on the whole as poor. That's the average result. Obviously there are some very good advisors and very good conversations, and clearly everyone on the calls would fall into that. But also research by the Charities Aid Foundation found that as many as 2/3 of clients wanted more philanthropy support from their advisors. So clearly, if we are able to have and engage in these conversations with our clients, we're going to have better conversations. They tend to be more long-term conversations, and they're fulfilling a need that our clients have. So it's win-win. And I think it also helps us to align our values with our clients' values, because again, I think everyone who's either speaking on this call or dialed in demonstrates that they are interested in helping in this area. And for those of you that want more resource to help you have those conversations, just a few ideas. I mean, the first one is clearly the Community Foundation, again, another plug, but you have a lot of resources and you put on events like this for professional advisors to help with those conversations. And I think I'd encourage anyone on the call who wants to know more to reach out to Lisa or others in the team. Another good option is Philanthropy Impact. which is a charity I mentioned earlier that's set up to help professional advisors give more and better philanthropy advice. Again, they put on free webinars. There's a lot of information on their website. So I just encourage people to have the conversation and ask if you want help and support with it.
That's great. Thanks, Catherine. I have some stats of my own, not to be left out completely. Just a recent poll have found that 40% of people over 40 would be happy to leave a gift in their will, whilst only 9% of charity donors aged over 40 actively rejected the idea of legacy giving. So even just from those two very basic stats, it feels like there's lots of scope to have meaningful conversations